Hey guys, Jordan here from Tech Revolution, and today I will be installing our mid-width Pyro Series bumper on a 07 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK. Now this bumper is constructed out of 3/16 steel, and we finish this bumper with a two-step coating process, and we back that coating process up with a 2-year warranty. Now this bumper is designed to work with the spare tire if you have it on a tailgate. Also has 2 recovery points to use with your D-rings, and also has a cutout for your factory hitch if your Jeep is equipped with that. Now this particular bumper does have a custom paint job to match this Jeep, but we do ship our bumpers out with a textured black powder coat. Now if you want to learn more about this bumper, you can visit CarlTechRevolution.com, but for now, let's get to the install. Now our first step is we're going to remove these 2 bolts on each side here on the rear cross member. These are just a 16mm socket. Now the next step is there's these 2 bolts on the side of the frame here. These are on the driver and passenger side. These are a 16mm socket as well. Best way is probably using impact with the swivel and break those free. Now since I did those 2 crossmember bolts and the 2 side bolts on the passenger side, these 2 driver bolts are the only ones holding this on. So once we take these 2 bolts off, this is gonna get all loosey-goosey and it might fall, so just make sure that you're out of the way. You got one more holding on. You'll see it probably move a little bit. It'll hold itself on. And we're just gonna take this bumper off. You can see these little ones right here that we put on the crossmember, so those just dip down behind the crossmember here, so you might have to tilt it back and then pull up. So now once you have your old bumper off, we're going to go and install our new bumper. So you're just going to grab a friend, and these little brackets on the side of the bumper are going to sit on the outside of the frame, and you're going to slide that on, and you're going to line it up with the factory holes that we took those bolts out of with the nut tabs. You have to go up a little ways. And then just start your bolts by hand loosely on each side. And you'll make sure you have to clear right here. Make sure you just have to pick up a little bit to clear your hitch here if you do have it. And basically you just are lining this up. Now we're gonna go ahead and snug up the bolts on each side here. And the bumper will rest on the hitch here, so just have somebody hold it up a little bit. So when you do snug these bolts up, do that on each side. You're good. And make sure it's off the hitch here still. And then you just want to make sure that your bumper is at where you want it to be at. And then we'll move on to our next step. Now our next step is we have to mark and drill some holes. So on the bottom here on each side, there's this one, and then there's the one on the other side as well. We're gonna mark this just with the Sharpie or paint marker, whatever you got. Mark the center of that. And on the side here, you can see this hole for the factory hole on the frame, and then there's these 2 holes right here. Do the same thing, just mark the center of those. And we'll actually have to remove the bumper after we do this. On the driver's side, the frame already has holes on it on the bottom and these 2 right here, so we don't have to worry about drilling those. We just want to make sure that those are lined up when we go to install the bumper completely ready to assemble it. Now once you have your holes marked, we're just going to go ahead and remove our bumper bolts here. Do that on each side. Again, we'll just slide it off. Pick up over the hitch, move this out of the way. Now once you have the bumper removed, remember we marked the holes on the passenger side here. We're just going to drill holes in the center of those, and we're going to have to work our way up to a 3/4 inch hole, and that's just going to allow for a little bit of play when we do go put our bolts in. But just start off with a smaller drill bit and just work your way up to about 3/4. Now once you have your nut tabs and all your bolts started, we're going to go ahead and tighten them up. So I'd recommend tightening these ones up first. Do not fully tighten them, just snug them all up first. But this is going to be a 5/8 socket to 7/16, or your fingers if you're strong like I am. And then just take a 5/8 socket and snug it up. Now we're just going to snug up our 2 factory bolts in our factory location. These are a 16mm socket. Just go ahead and hit these with the impact. Do that on each side. Now we're going to install our Jack's badge. Now this is a stainless steel badge, but once again, this is a custom paint here, just black paint, but it is just a normal stainless steel. We also provide 2 stainless steel rivets. So once you get that lined up, those rivets in, we're just going to go ahead and take our rivet gun. And pop those in. Now that's how you install our Pyro Series mid-width rear bumper on this 07 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK. Now if you have any questions about this bumper, you can visit crawltechrevolution.com. And a side note, these bumpers are in stock, ready to ship.